What is going on, guys? Today the SafeMoon audit just dropped on our heads, and in this video we're going to be talking about the main points of the SafeMoon audit, what this means for you and I as far as price goes, price prediction, and where SafeMoon goes from here, and how SafeMoon handled some of the things that came up in the audit. We'll also talk a little bit about Certik and what that is. What's this company auditing? I mean, I had no idea what a auditing company of crypto would be like. And so here we go. My name is Aaron. I'm a brand new crypto investor. I am not your financial advisor, but I am on a journey to 1 Bitcoin. So if you want to follow me on that journey, go and hit subscribe on the button down below. And if you are feeling generous this time while you're watching this video, if you're a generous person, I would ask you to go ahead and hit the like button the next time you think about hitting some kind of like button. Anyway, let's get right into the topic of today's video, which is the SafeMoon audit. First of all, this website looking clean and fresh, and second of all, the drip on the SafeMoon merch is amazing. I'm in Florida right now, but I would gladly rock a pair of SafeMoon joggers in the squelching summer heat of Florida. Just sweat my legs off, no problem, as long as I got that little rocket ship shooting out of my pocket. That's the hotness. So the SafeMoon audit is conducted by a company called Certik, and apparently it's one of the most leading companies to do an audit on the crypto space. You see here that it gives a score to PancakeSwap, the number one, at 94. Certik, it gives itself 93. Binance here 93, and so they audit all these different projects, and their main focus is actually security. Okay, their main focus for auditing is security. So when they're looking at these audits, we have to be thinking, okay, what is a potential security risk, security threat? What in their code might give way to potential hacks or rug pulls, rather. And so this is what they do. They're here to, I guess, defend DeFi and make sure no token holders are losing any money out. And so we're going to go right into the audit. It's right here. It says that it has acquired 13 findings. One of its major, one of its medium, and 4 minor, and 7 info findings. I think we should just go over like the major ones and the medium ones. We can go over the minor ones as well. But and talk about how they're not really, I mean, personally, I don't really see a big deal in them. And the critical one, there's nothing there. So good on you, SafeMoon. I think this should be a good audit for you. And there's a reasonable case for the ones that the medium and the minor findings, even the major ones. So here we go. First, the understandings. It goes into describing what SafeMoon is as far as the tokenomics is concerned. We already know that it gets taxed 10%, 5% gets redistributed or reflected back towards the SafeMoon holder community, and 5% gets pushed into gets pushed into the LP, into liquidity. And so this is the reflection that they're talking about. And so we don't have to talk about how the tokenomics work. You just go on their website and kind of find out there. I want to talk about the findings here. And so they've got, again, 1 major finding, 1 medium finding, and 4 minor findings. And we'll talk about these. I just don't see it's a big deal. So here's the first minor finding. The description here is the error message in this piece of code does not describe the error correctly. Okay, so it's a misdescribed error. And the words right here: account is already executed, when it should be account is not executed. And that's the recommendation, to change that to account is not executed. And the alleviation or the resolution that the SafeMoon is responding with is that we're not going to change this. Okay, this is unable to be changed. It's already in the contract, and it cannot be updated. Okay, minor. It's just like by wording. Informational doesn't really mean much. It's just, it says here redundant code. I mean, that's all it is. Like, doesn't really matter. You could read it for yourself. Okay, so here's the medium one. The swap and liquefy function converts half of the contract token balance SafeMoon tokens BNB, and the other half of SafeMoon tokens and part of the converted BNB are deposited into the SafeMoon BNB pool on PancakeSwap as liquidity. For every swap and liquefy function call, a small amount of BNB is left over in the contract. This is because the price of SafeMoon drops after swapping the first half of SafeMoon tokens into BNB, and the other half of SafeMoon tokens require less than the converted BNB to paired with when adding liquidity. Basically, when the tax happens, 5% is supposed to be sent into LP, 5% is supposed to be reflected into the SafeMoon holders, but there is a small, minute percentage of BNB that does not go at any of those places, neither of those two, and it just gets kind of lost in crypto space, never to be found. We don't know where it is. It's not over the 10% that gets taxed. It's within that 10%. And the reason is that when the liquidity gets pulled out, the price of SafeMoon drops, and so there's this like little bit of BNB, like 0.000, like 801 or not, some nonsense that just is lost. There's a lost little red-headed stepchild of BNB, and you know what? Send the BNB over to me. I could use every BNB that I'll adopt all you little BNB children, little babies. I mean, I'll adopt all of you guys. But unfortunately, there's nothing that they can do about it. The recommendation by Certik is that they should be able to have a withdraw function and to either distribute the BNB SafeMoon back to the token holders, or use it to buy back some SafeMoon tokens to increase the market price. That's the recommendation. And the response from the Safemoon team is can't do it, lost forever. And so don't expect this to be fixed. Just expect some small part of there's this lost just children of BNB just out there in the network, and they will never be found again. That's basically what they're saying. Here's the major one: centralized risk in ad liquidity. And I don't assume that this is a little complicated knowledge, but if I'm reading this correctly, here's what it basically means. The add liquidity function calls this little piece of code function with two address specified as owner. So it's basically saying that there is an owner of the contract that LP tokens are being sent to, okay? So as a result, over time, the owner address will accumulate a significant portion of LP tokens, okay? Every transaction, some LP tokens are being sent to this address, and they're saying that if it's mishandled incorrectly, the private key can have devastating consequences to the project as a whole. This is basically talking about a rug pull. If they withdraw all the LP, if they can do whatever they want to it, basically an owner has just the ability to rug pull and just to totally collapse the SafeMoon token. And when I say rug pull, I really mean they withdraw all the LP tokens out of circulation, so that no one can then trade or exchange or swap our SafeMoon tokens. Meaning we're stuck with it, and it's zero, right? It's worth zero then. And so we advise to address this code, this function, to be replaced with the contract itself, and to restrict management of the LP tokens with the scope of the contract's business logic. This will also protect the LP tokens from being stolen if the owner account is compromised. In general, we strongly recommend centralized privileges or roles in the protocol to be improved via a decentralized mechanism or via smart contract. Basically, they're saying renounce ownership. They're saying there are centralized roles that people play, centralized ownership that people play in SafeMoon right now, and that they're saying replace that with protocols and smart contracts, so that no one owns this thing. Okay, so this could be a problem, right? This has the risk of totally being just bottomed out, and and all of that. And now here's the alleviation. Here's what the Safemoon team responds to this. Basically, Certik is saying, hey, you guys have a centralized ownership over SafeMoon in regards to the LP tokens, and you could easily rug pull this whole thing. And SafeMoon says this, and I actually agree with them. They say this in regards to owner control. We are a fair launch governed by a central board, which is subject to governmental regulations and law. They're saying, look, we don't have full, ability to just do whatever we want with this thing. We're actually governed externally by laws by laws. We are legally registered, and we are a legally registered entity in accordance to the law and jurisdictions in which we operate. SafeMoon is very different from other projects, and our differences provide more security for the community versus anonymous teams and projects. So they're saying this, look, there's these other projects out there, and they're anonymous. Us, we show our face. We're on AMAs. We have our names, our face, our livelihoods, our lives on the line here. We're not going to rug pull this, because if we do, we're burned for life. So that's what they're saying. They're saying, look, and in my opinion, there's no difference of, Steve Jobs, not tanking Apple. They love SafeMoon. They put their lives on the line in SafeMoon. They won't be able to go anywhere in the United States without their faces being plastered like wanted, like we want these guys. And they're young dudes. They probably want families, or if not, they have families. And so, it says here, risks in regard to rug pulls or anything else mitigated due to the fact of every member of SafeMoon would be subject to litigation and likely a swift prison sentence. They're saying, look, forget your rug pull and the $1,000 you have invested in SafeMoon. We could go to prison if we scam or we pull this thing. Additionally, outside of the law, our social lives would be in ruin. We would not be able to show our faces in public again, let alone get another job. This should be taken into account when looking at the SafeMoon project as a whole. Additionally, we have taken serious steps towards further risk mitigation by initially starting this project with a fair launch hosted on DX sale, with the LP being immediately locked out of the gate. SafeMoon quickly brought in a team willing to go public with their identities to build trust with the community and for the project. SafeMoon was quickly registered as a legal entity. So they're mentioning that their social lives are at stake. Their laws and governments they are held accountable to them, not just to the shareholders, or not just the token holders, but to the laws that govern them. Not only that, we have links here, right, that we locked away liquidity, okay, that we have immediately $250 million recently, and so we've publicly expressed our goals and intention of why we will still retain custody of the contract. So Certik is saying renounce ownership of the contract. They said no, we will not. And here's my thing. I said in another video, I'll say in this one really briefly, that once I don't really fully understand renouncing full custody of a contract, because the way you move something after that you have to have a community vote. Could you imagine 10,000 people voting for something to get done, rather than just trusting in a few vision, impassioned, strong-willed, focused, forward-thinking leaders, just trusting in them and punch the project through. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the people that push projects through. Those are the people that carry businesses. Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Bill Gates of Microsoft, Steve Jobs of Apple. It's to have a mob of unruly people with 1,000 different opinions and viewpoints, and it just bogs it down and slows it down. And that's the problem with Ethereum, right? It's just so slow. You have to have a whole community vote. Whereas if you have just a few people with a clear vision and a will and a drive to push forward a project, that is what I prefer to trust in. And so I'm half and half with renouncing ownership of a whole contract. I'm half and half about it, because at the end of the day, I'd like to see people. I like to invest in the right people. Every time I look at every time I watch Shark Tank, these sharks are investing in the people, in the business as much as the business itself. And so I think a business is just an extension of the will and the drive of the entrepreneur at the end of the day. And so, I mean, you can kind of go on these links here to see that for yourself. And if you agree with me, go ahead and hit the comment section below. I think this is a very interesting discussion to be had. Anyway, that's it for this video. Just wanted to thank you for watching it. If you're feeling generous or you like this video, especially of what I go over, just give me a like if you're feeling generous today, if you're a generous person. If not, follow me on my journey, hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you on the moon.